So as you all already know, this regime is just absolutely the dream of foreign spies and hackers. I'm sure there's not a serious country on earth that doesn't have a bug in this regime to basically get all the information in real time about what Trump is doing, what they're planning on doing, what they're trying to keep secret, et cetera, et cetera. There was, of course, the Signal chat fiasco where you had Pete Hegseth and Mike Waltz, and they made this group chat on Signal, which is totally illegal to do it there because it's not fully protected. It's not over the official government channels. And they were plotting illegal bombings of Yemen, right? Literally giving detail about what's happening with the bombings. Just wildly illegal in multiple ways. You had, a journalist was inadvertently invited into the chat, and he reported on it, and then there was fallout, and then Pete Hegseth lied, and now Mike Waltz has effectively been demoted. But what that showed is these people, on top of being fascists, they're also a bunch of incompetent idiots, and they don't care about the rules, the process, the procedure, because they feel like they're above it all. Well, there's a reason why the rules, process, and procedure exists. Right? It's to do stuff right, but also to protect your own ass. Well, guess what? Now we have a new story that's related. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Susie Wiles, that's Trump's chief of staff, has told associates that her cell phone contacts were hacked, according to some of the people giving the impersonator access to the private phone numbers of some of the country's most influential people. The phone in question is her personal cell phone, not her government one, the people said. Some of the calls featured a voice that sounded like Wiles. People who heard them said, government officials think the impersonator used artificial intelligence to imitate Wiles' voice, some of the people said. In some of the text messages, people received requests that they initially believed to be official. One lawmaker, for example, was asked by the impersonator to assemble a list of individuals who could be pardoned by the president. It became clear to some of the lawmakers that the requests were suspicious when the impersonator began asking questions about Trump that Wiles should have known the answers to. And in one case, when the impersonator asked for a cash transfer, some of the people said, in many cases, the impersonator's grammar was broken and the messages were more formal than the way Wiles typically communicates. People who have received the messages said the calls and text messages also didn't come from Wiles' phone number. So a hacker got access to the personal cell phone of Susie Wiles, Trump's chief of staff. And they went as far as to use AI to imitate her voice and to, contact more. There is a 0% chance we get out of these 4 years without some sort of major crisis related to the security of this regime. In fact, look, I'll say it. I know a lot of you think it too. I'll just come out and say it. I have no doubt that a lot of these people are already being blackmailed. Can you imagine the file that Mossad has on Trump or Hegseth or Lindsey Graham, right? Like, the amount of dirt they probably have. There is no way that a bunch of top regime officials are not already being blackmailed into making certain decisions. That's why this whole thing about war with Iran is a big deal, where Israel's gonna pull out all the stops to try to get the U.S. to commit to a hot war with Iran. They view this as an opportunity. Hamas is weakened, Hezbollah is weakened, so the proxies are weakened. They view it as the time to cut off the head of the snake. They will stop at nothing to try to get that done and to try to force the U.S. to get directly involved with it too, right? And when you have this weak of a regime in terms of the security protocols, they know everything everybody's saying at every single point in time. I have no doubt about that. No doubt about that whatsoever. I mean, Elon just stole everybody's data through the Treasury. We know that. That shit is not safe. They want to make it so that, we move our official channels to fucking Starlink, which is also deeply unprotected. They're using Signal, which is not anywhere near as protected as the government official lines. What are we doing here? As I said, it's one thing if you're evil and fascist, which they are, but they also manage to mix in with that total incompetence and idiocy. And this is going to backfire in so many ways in which we can't even begin to wrap our mind around right now. And I mean, just look at it. The chief of staff has already been hacked. They're already running scams, right? I mean, this is the sort, they're acting like the people who replied to the email from the Nigerian prince, right? They're acting like the people who fall for a phishing scam or whatever. Like, that's what we're witnessing here, y'all. That's what we're witnessing. So buckle up. Like I said, it's going to be a bumpy 4 years, and there's going to be all sorts of devastation happening because they can't even do the most basic shit correctly. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.